So, heute Abend um 6:50 werden sie auf der Mainstage spielen, hier auf dem Summer Race 2023. Aber jetzt sind sie erstmal bei uns. Isaac und Simone von Epica, meine Damen und Herren. Bitte Applaus! Schön, dass ihr da seid. Wie geht's euch?
Sehr gut, gerade erst vor 10 Minuten angekommen hier und schon völlig nass geschwitzt. Wie geht's euch?
Wir haben eine Hitzewarnung, aber ich werte das als Luxusproblem dieses Jahr. Das ist ja irgendwie ganz schön. Ihr seid ja auch wieder viel unterwegs gewesen. Hattet ihr bisher Glück mit dem Wetter, wenn ihr gespielt habt?
Eigentlich schon, ja.
Ja?
War immer, fast immer.
Außer in Finnland, da gab es eine schöne Regenparty. Aber das hat auch den Spaß nicht verdorben.
Es gab aber anderweitige Probleme, habe ich gesehen. Mich erreichte nämlich ein Foto vom Dong Open Air mit einem Bus, der relativ quer hing. Was ist denn da los gewesen?
Ich habe gefahren. Nein, ich weiß eigentlich nicht. I'll switch to English because my German is not
No problem.
good enough. But yeah, apparently the bus took a very short turn, and it was standing like this. And we finally were the main attraction of the festival. But it worked out. The bus was fine. We were supposed to go to Italy afterwards, and we did, and we're still alive. So.
Cool. So, but otherwise from the bus event thing, things are going quite well for you, right? I mean, you released this EP last year, the acclaimed one, the Alchemy Project, alongside with many friends in the music business, and you had your tour with Apocalyptica, finally, after many postponements, and then you supported Metallica. So you seem to have a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, make friends, not war, I would say.
That's good. So what was it like when you got the call from Metallica?
Well, it's a funny thing actually. So our manager, he called me 3 times. I have a little boy, and so I don't have a lot of time to work at home. So I was finally in my home studio working on a new song, and then he called me 3 times, and I thought, not today. I'm working on a new song, right? So finally, after the 3rd call, I pick up. What the hell do you want? And so he says, did you check your message about Metallica, blah, blah, blah? So I'm like, no, I didn't. So this and that date. I checked the agenda, and I could do the shows. So I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. Then went back to working on the song. And then after 10 minutes, it kind of dawned on me, like, oh shit, Metallica, really? So then I realized that we had this opportunity. It was great shows, and great crew, great people, you know.
Good. So you supported them in Hamburg and in Saint-Denis, Stade de France, right?
Paris,
Yeah.
Gothenburg, and Hamburg.
Awesome. What was it like? I mean, that stage is, let's say, a bit unconventional. How did you put up your production?
Not. There was no room for a LED screen but it was in a way an old-fashioned show for us, that we didn't have production. We just had our instruments. And with the first show that we did in Paris, we had the opportunity to have a long sound check. So we could get acquainted with the stage setup and knowing, okay, you have people all around you, so you have to interact with the audience. And you have to walk a lot of miles during the show. And it was a lot of fun, actually, for me, very refreshing to do a show like that compared to the conventional stage like this, and the audience is in front of you. And yeah, of course, knowing that you're supporting Metallica is a big thing, but I decided to not think too much about it and just have fun, have a good time. And that's what it was all about, and I think we succeeded in doing that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I've only seen some videos, but I think that's what the audience actually felt. That's cool. So, I mean, you guys were quite busy even during the time of the pandemic. But how big were the hardships during that time? Did you miss anything during the pandemic?
Well, you always try to make something out of every situation,
Yeah.
even if it's supposedly a bad situation. We had an album that we were recording, So we released the album. Usually you'd go either on a tour or release shows. We couldn't do that, so we did a streaming event. And what else? We started our Epica Universe online platform. We did the EP, which came out later after the pandemic, but that's something that we already
during it, yeah.
started working on. So it's like, yeah, every cloud has a silver lining, and we just try to make the best out of it, I guess, right?
Yeah, I definitely missed the live shows, and it was the first time that we had a new album and we couldn't tour. But another silver lining to that was that normally when you release a new CD, you go immediately on tour, then the fans don't know the music yet. And in this way, even though we postponed the release a little bit, people had the chance to get to know the songs. So by the time we, in the end, did the tour together with Apocalyptica and Wheel, people knew the songs already. And if the pandemic didn't happen, we would have just gone on tour. And now we did this huge show, the Omega Live streaming, where we could play with production, you know, the sky was the limit almost. And that pushed us further also for eventually the tour. So there were a lot of plus in the situation. And like Isaac said, we tried to make the best of it. But I definitely missed being on stage. But another silver lining was that we finally had more time for family and friends, even though sometimes you couldn't meet because of this stupid virus. But all in all, we got through it pretty well, and we're very grateful for that.
And I made a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, I had time to make a baby.
I expected more Corona babies, to be honest.
One is enough.
No, not from you.
Those are tour babies.
My second daughter was born like on the first day of the lockdown here in Germany. That was... I almost couldn't attend. I wasn't allowed to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, last year you celebrated your 20th anniversary and you re-released like your first 3 albums in a rather big box. Like, are there any plans for further special editions of this kind?
Not at the moment, I think. No, we're supposed to start writing a new album after summer festivals.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be our priority.
Yeah.
Recording next year. So I guess end of next year or 2025, early 25 maybe. That's going to be a new chapter for Epica.
Nice, because I've heard and read that you are already like working on new material. Yeah. So is that like everybody's in his home studio like working secludedly, or is there still this dirty rehearsal room with the couch from the bulky waste and the 28 euros fridge with a puddle in front of it?
We have an official rehearsal room that is basically only used by our drummer to rehearse every once in a while. We all live in different countries. But for this album, like we did last with Omega, we're going to have like writing camps. We're going to rent a house and everybody sits together. At home, we have our home studio, so we can start working on some songs of our own. And then we get together, old school, and write Epica number 9.
Awesome.
But we do have a smelly rehearsal room.
Yes.
We're just never there.
With Schimmel.
Yeah. So your lyrics are often not just about, I think it's fair to say they're not just about the little things, but also about existential questions and topics. And how do you judge the current triumph of AI? Does that have an impact on you? Not only as artists, but also as humans.
Well, we talk about it amongst each other in the backstage with our colleagues and other creative people that some have bigger worries than others. I myself try to adapt as good as I can. I mean, you can't stop it anyway, and I think we should try to use it to our benefit however we can. But I do notice a lot of my friends are occupied with this topic, but I try to not let myself get too crazy because of it. I think in the end, humans need humans, and art needs to be created by actual flesh and blood, you know.
Because I'm scared shitless.
Really?
So, yeah.
Why?
I think with all you can actually generate, like, I could write a song and just add Simone's voice to it.
Yes,
And
we have done that. Or we have one of our crew members, he used the voice from Pink to sing Abyss of Time, and he sent it to me like, look, Pink is singing your song. And at first I didn't recognize that it was even Epica, and then I was like, it's Pink's voice, but still you hear there's no soul in it. It's still it still sounds artificial, and there's something, the emotion, you can't fake that, I think.
Not yet.
But you can write lyrics in 1 minute.
That is true.
So for the Dutch people, Sinterklaas, where you have to write like little rhymes for all your family and friends, and you work a whole week every night, you can just ask AI to do it for you. But for writing lyrics, it's a different thing. I mean, there you can definitely probably cheat. But for me, one of the nice things, of course, besides singing, is also writing lyrics. So far, whenever I wrote lyrics, I asked thesaurus or like rhyme zone, which is already in a way a little cheating, I guess. Yeah. But my lyrics will still be coming from my weird brain.
That's good to know. Let's talk about something much more analog. Since Mark isn't here, and you can tell us, but what's going on with this bicycle thing there, with his bike tours?
It was for the good cause.
Yeah.
So he loves riding his bike, as people probably know. And so now for a dog shelter, he wanted to raise some money. And so he went on a bike ride to Summer Breeze. Best idea ever. Too bad I was occupied. I would have loved to join him on his 500-kilometer run.
I would like to see him on stage later. I think he almost can't walk anymore.
But he raised a good amount of money, so I'm happy for him. And for the dogs, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nothing can happen to the bus, right? When he's on
the
bike.
Exactly. Well, fun fact with the bus, no one from the band was actually on the bus. We all, I think only our crew was there, and we all came to that.
And Rob, I think, was on the
Rob?
bus. Rob was on the bus.
Just one from the band, yeah.
So, maybe just a little spoiler here. What can we expect from tonight's show?
That we're gonna sweat our ass off, probably. Even more than now, because we want to put on a great show, and I think we have also pyro or fire, so we're gonna burn in hell. So it's gonna be a sweaty one. But we play 70 minutes, so it's a long set, and we have our full production with us.
Yep.
So it's gonna be something for the ears and the eyes.
I think it's almost 80 minutes. I think it's announced from 7:10 to 8:30.
Okay, yeah, that could be. I could be mistaken by a couple of minutes. But it's a longer set than normal. On the festival, mostly we play an hour, and tonight's going to be longer, yeah.
Okay, wer wird heute Abend da sein? Bei Epica 10:07 auf der Mainstage? Yeah, ist klar. Nochmal Applaus für Epica.
Dankeschön.
Thanks for coming.
Dankeschön.